Well, the first would be with our stewardship, where we have a lot of different funds, hundreds of destination codes, so now we can produce very bespoke stewardship and thanking letters and so on, with relatively little overhead. We set up the power letter rules and we set up different paragraphs for each fund, and then the process just runs. So that's relatively straightforward, and I guess you're called thankQ because you realise that thanking people is important, so that's pretty key for us. Barcoding, which isn't very glamorous but saves us a huge amount of time. It's the single most time-saving measure that thankQ has brought us, in that we can process the returns from mailings of 100,000 in a couple of days rather than several months that we used to do when we had it manually. And it guarantees that the letters that we send out the next time have all the bad addresses have been removed. It saves us money, and surprisingly our data quality hasn't gone down. It hasn't really changed actually. So I think we're able to manage our data quality much more effectively, and it was a really cheap development for us actually. And the third is our portal software, which the University of Edinburgh has an online portal which is available to staff, students, applicants and alumni, and so it's a very large framework that runs for the whole university, taking about 1 million logins a month. So we can't change that, so we have to take the thankQ software and build it into this framework. And that was, again, a relatively straightforward process, but enables us to use the infrastructure at our university, which is free to us, and plug in the thankQ software. And now we're getting about 750 to 1,000 data updates a month from our online community, with very little promotion of it really. So that's very helpful to us. So one of the key ways we've saved money is by not sending out mailings to bad addresses, and the key to that is to process the returns in a timely way, i.e. as quickly as possible. And so by barcoding our letters when we send them out enables us just to scan them. A relatively complex series of checks goes on in the background and the data is managed, and by the time we do another mailing, even if it's a week later, we know that we've processed all the bad addresses, those have dropped out, and we can then pick up cleaning our addresses in a separate way. So when you're mailing, as we do, about 120,000 people twice a year, making sure that you're not sending 3,000 or 4,000 known bad addresses is very good. It saves us a lot of money. Very, very easy to work with, really. I mean, I've worked for software companies, and I've also worked as a customer of software companies, as my role is now. And they know their business. They understand that each of our businesses are slightly different. And one of the key things I like about it is fairly lean. The whole sort of project methodology is very, very straightforward. I only have to have one meeting with our project manager. Things are understood very easily, given back to us in simple paperwork, sign it off, and it happens. So I put that down to the staff really being knowledgeable, understanding the product, the technology, and being able to interpret your requirements pretty well. So yeah, that's the organisation really, that's the key part of it.